Hello everyone, this is a grumpy old guy gaming. Welcome back to another Fragment Friday run. Shining Darkness server, keywords, auras, lightless, holy ground. Let's head in. As per usual, links below for the .hack network and the NetSlum discords and websites. Having our usual luck here as we just cannot catch a break and tripped a portal to boot. Would cast away at the knights, but I know they are magic tolerant. So best thing we could do here is just get out of battle mode, pop a fairy's orb, and once again get out of the way here and hope to reach that magical point where some of these monsters turn back. And at that point we could actually focus on some of what we're doing. See the Star Eater really just beating the tar out of us here. Fortunately, we got out of the knight's range. Unfortunately, we did get paralyzed as well. Did not get a chance to get any sort of buffs going, so our hit points are really at the mercy of the game right now. Every time those knights come back into focus, it is a scarier and scarier thing. Okay, we got the Star Eater under 600, and finally down. Good news is that is 14 experience. Bad news is that was that much time to take care of one enemy. Not boding well for us, honestly, in terms of a prolonged endeavor here. Certainly does not seem like it's going to be a successful venture, but we shall do our best. We are in fact facing a Holy Knight here. Get rid of the Holy Knight, and again, pick up some decent and then some experience for the shot. Also worth noting, we dropped in rather close to the dungeon entrance, so if we wanted to take the quick route in, it's certainly there. Making sure to keep those hit points high at all times. Picking up some Cygnus. This area well over our usual scale. We are level 52, this is a level 57, and that is a Grangon. Full on Earth Dragon. Breath weapon is what I would consider a problem. Again, keeping those hit points high. Certainly not complaining with 16 experience. Take a look at the status page when we get to the dungeon, if we do survive that long. Portals like that ain't gonna make me feel too comfortable in that assertion, though. Just gonna get out of range. And again, we're looking for that magic turn back point, like right there. Noticed I rebuffed Riggeem and Rigsame. What we really want is to isolate one. I think that's our guy right there. Gonna be close. Okay, that's one down. Now we just gotta keep playing tag here. Of course, Crim's Spear is it's a heat seeker of a weapon. It's going to absolutely hit critically every time that it connects. So mashing circle in 9 out of 10 cases is our best attack strategy. Also upped the magic defense and offense by switching to some mage specific gears. Light armors, I suppose, is the better technical terminology. Just like that, 3 of the knights down, pick up the moon. Certainly an underwhelming treasure for that challenge of battle, but it's useful in its own right, and we're grateful for whatever we can get at this point. Here's a lone holy knight, and we will take that. About 4 portals left. Do believe we left a Grangon out of that opening assortment wandering around the field, but it may have despawned, or it may just be, waiting to ambush us like these holy knights. I think we may have tripped that portal too, so this could be uncomfortable in several ways, and that is the rolling of a Star Eater in the background, which wasted no time getting up on us. Star Eater is what we're going to want to face here. See, we're getting 342s, and this is one of those times where we could actually go ahead and switch to an actual skill. As you can see, the elemental hits making quick work of our starfish foe. I'd say friend, but there's very little friendly about that. May have let that holy knight dwell a bit long, yeah. Not liking trying to fight them both at the same time right now. It's actually not the combo attack I'm fearing at this point. It's that double hit there with the life drain. And there's another Star Eater, which is a serious problem because getting paralyzed is an absolute death sentence in a crowd for us, being 5 levels under. 50s are a very precarious place to solo. Simple solution to that, don't solo. Got 2 Discord servers worth of .hack fans linked below. Party up. Have some fun. Voice chat. Not comfortable voice chatting? There's an in-game feature that you can just type using a keyboard. Perfect if you're playing on emulation. If you're playing on a PS2, just about any USB keyboard should just plug right into the console. Taking out Holy Knights left and Star Eaters right. Finally get that elemental hit, and what a finish that was. Making our way back to the 3 portals that remain here in the field. Bit of unintentional, intentional symmetry here. If I remember correctly, the first labeled Fragment Friday video I posted was titled A Fired Up Long Arm. That one did not end so well. But let's see if we could do better with ice than we did with fire. Saw just how quick that damage piles up with 2 Holy Knights, and in all honesty, the second one only got in 1 strike against us in that encounter. Okay, that's those 2 down. Picking up the Lovers and Slayers. Nice twin blade weapon there. Believe it's a death touch. more knights. Okay, that's their halfway point, so we should be looking at the turnaround right around there. Awesome. Unfortunately, they're still balled in a tight little group, so let's take this time to reestablish our buffs at a safe distance and let them break from the pack a little bit here. I see just that hint of separation from the lead. That tells me this third pass here is where we're actually going to want to fight. Going to try a sneaky trick. Of course, this isn't really going to do anything to the knight, but it is going to hold it back. It locks it in that animation while the other two just sort of drift back. Cheap trick, sure, but you take what you can get. Then do it again here. And that's 2 down. Again, not casting for damage there, just to sort of interrupt the flow and space these guys out a touch. Not the most efficient strategy. Could have probably tried for a Beast Bane. I do believe I have those on shortcut for this character just as a support measure. And if I don't, that's probably coming up in the works. But mission accomplished, and we are down to just one lone portal in this field. And it is a treasure chest, so the game takes a little easy on us, pulls that final punch, and lets us get to the dungeon. Or so I thought, as there's one more Holy Knight just sort of chilling by the dungeon entrance. Shining Darkness, never one to not ambush. That knight certainly put in some work too, got our health down into the orange. Again, even on their own, they are damaging us heavily at this level range. So we are going to have to be rather on point with our healing potions throughout this dungeon. Taking a look at the first floor here. We've actually got a combat-free path to the second floor if so we chose it. But what would be the fun in that? I know, survival. That would be the fun. Taking a look at our status page, we are halfway through the 52nd level. See if we can't suit up, loot up, and get a little closer to 53 here. Numbers don't lie, and with the numbers we're pulling off the experience, as long as we keep that hit point total at 1 or more, we should be making some decent gains, especially for Fragment, where leveling is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. Picking up some pure water out of the jar. Picking up a Grangon out of the portal. Again, switch to the Celestial Robe. Gives Yarthkins as a viable spell option a much needed upgrade for us magically, and also some enhanced magic defense. Unfortunately, that does weaken our physical position slightly, and in this dungeon it seems like the only monster we've faced so far between the field and early on in the dungeon that would be susceptible to Yarthkins as far as damage is a water element starfish that we're just going to hack out with the spear. So, speaking of, here's our boy, the Star Eater. Not even getting the elemental hits there on the first two, and still took it well under half. So when we pulled the elemental hit for the third strike, we knew the battle was ours. And just like that, floor 1 is done. Pick up some Chris armor there out of the spawned chest. Recording on my day off, drinking coffee like it's a work day. Roughly about the same time I get my coffee break. Just trying to stay focused. Want a nice chill run here, no problems, no difficulties. Got at least 3 floors of fun here. Really liking the open square rooms in this particular situation. Gives us a chance to sort of make that split decision whether we want to charge in or take a little distance. Also make note that I am going out of my way to use Hunter's Bloods for that plus 15 accuracy bonus, because every hit's going to count right now. 2 and 3. No elemental hits whatsoever, but also no misses, and the Star Eater is done. Cygnus and the Moon. Let's clear out a rather expansive and winding second floor, starting on the left side from center. Arch-shaped room. And we get a Grangon. Minor breath weapon attack there, didn't hit us full force. It's nice enough to cast for the second attack, not such a big deal. As you can see, the bite did as much damage as the cast and the breath weapon combined. Yeah, if we can get by with Grangon trying to breathe and cast on us, that's really our best sort of outcome. We don't want him chomping down too much. Also, we're not sad about Grangon because there's no status effects tied to the dragon. Heal after the third spike there. Goes for another breath weapon. And we'll finish him off before he gets the raised breath attack. You'll notice 2 different breath attacks. I'm assuming the one where the dragon gets up on its hind legs either has a wider reach or hits harder. This is some shit. 2 Darkstalkers. Not the type of enemy you want to face in a small room whatsoever. Also going to try and group these 2 together if I can. Not working out so well right now. That loose one is just evading all kinds of crazy. There we are. Unfortunately, downside to using Yarthkins is our SP pool is not exquisite. There we are. That's... God, I thought I had them both together, too. I really did. Oh, that one slid by again. News goes from bad to worse for our SP pool as Rig-Game falls off. Also Rig same, so gotta be very careful here. Get a twin protect break as we finally get them together, and we can finally do some meaningful damage with Yarthkins. As you could see, they really did a number on us with the spells while we were setting up. On the bright side, I can finally stop complaining about not having an enemy to cast at. That is exactly the reason we've got Yarthkins in the build. Believe it or not, just that first hit put us in range that if we got an elemental hit on the second strike with this fire attack, we would have finished off that Star Eater handily. Instead, we once again had to go for the third. There's a Bearcat egg. Bearcat egg fans all over the world rejoice, we have saved one from the second floor of this dungeon. And I literally mean saved, because it's pretty much canonical for me at this point that I am never raising more than a noble grunty for this character. Kind of fits. It's simple, it's basic, it works. Going to take a moment here, reapply buffs, because that Dark Stalker fight was a bastard. Already had to reapply Rig Geem and Rig Same. And that tells me that the next time things run out, it will be everything. Of course, you hear my controller disconnecting in the background because for whatever reason, the connection to the controller is not super solid. Cord's fine, controller's fine, they just don't mesh. So I gotta watch moving around, which is what I tend to do quite a bit while recording these. So ever since my janky old, like, $20 USB controller died, you've gotten to hear a lot of my controller disconnecting over the past couple weeks. Of course, the buttons on this are twice as quiet, and since I am recording in close proximity to a pretty decent microphone, it's nothing great or amazing. It's like the cheapest dedicated mic you could pick up at Walmart, but it's a lot better than the headset mic I was using. Which is still on my head because I still use the earphones. Not even trying to evade at this point, though I guess I should because I think these things can skill drain. Can't remember if they could death touch, but I know they could skill drain. We want them casting at us anyway. Because they're not getting a single status effect off on a spell. One more Dark Stalker left, and make that 0 as the Yarthgans connects for 481 points of damage. The Yarthgans. Yeah, I said it. One more portal here in the second, and it's another Grangon. Happy to see our Earth Dragon buddy. Should have probably brought Breath Mints. Consecutive breath attacks, gonna make sure and pop an elixir after that. That's 3 in a row. This thing really wants us to check its breath. Actually went for 4 straight breath attacks, but you know, it sort of ran out of hit points before that, and that's kind of a problem with landing attacks. The levers pulled out of the chest, which seems like a rather serious invasion of privacy, and we are heading down to floor number 3. Taking the old red-ish carpet. Red adjacent at this point. Definitely old. Good news for fans of floor number 4. We've got one here. All we have to do is survive long enough to see it as we hit floor number 3 and already see the stairs down just off to our right from the first room a couple. This is another potentially combat minimal floor, but I'm sure there's more to explore on the further down path, and that is what we will look at. Assuming, of course, we could get past this Star Eater, can assume nothing, although 5 straight elemental hits down that thing like it was an afterthought. An afterthought that gives us 14 experience, which again in this game may as well be 100. Cygnus. Long hallway here. And we get our old buddy, the Holy Knight. Haven't seen this sucker since we saw daylight. Literally. Holy Knight was the last monster we faced before coming in here. Kind of worried about that sort of crooked room at the end at this point, as there's not a ton of room in those, and now the potential is there for multiple Holy Knights to spawn out of portals. That's been sort of the silent nightmare here. Rare miss for us, leading to the third set of attacks. 2 more portals here in the third. This one's going to give us a Darkstalker. Honestly, could not tell at first. I should have been able to from the glowing eyes, but I could not honestly tell at first whether it was a Darkstalker or a Holy Knight, given the fact that both of our flying enemies have serious resistances, one entirely physically tolerant, and the other magically tolerant. That makes the guessing game all the more perilous. On the bright side, when you guess right, you take it down and get 11 experience for your efforts. At least we do, because we're level 52. One more portal to go here. And it is a Star Eater. Nothing to worry about, just our starfish friend that could, freeze us solid or paralyze us. Which I guess is doing effectively the same thing as freezing us solid. Isn't doing any of that at this point because it decided to get in a slap fight with us, and we have a pointy stick. 3 floors of the dungeon cleared, and looks like most of our appendages are in the proper places and positions. This is the point where a novice may actually feel confident, and yet I've run more than enough of these dungeons to know that shit gets real on floor number 4. That'd be a great shirt for a dungeon crawl. Shit gets real on floor number 4. Why you'd have specific attire to run dungeon crawling games, I have no idea. But for those who do, feel free to take that. Fourth floor showing us more stairs down. So this is going to be a bit of a trek. Diagonal corridor, at least a safe start. Then into one of these semicircle rooms, where we get a trio of Darkstalker. Okay, third one was nice enough to drop by the tail of that C shape for a sec. Not gonna stay so nice. Nothing more demoralizing than when you get them all grouped together and it misses. That I will say. Gonna have to heal here. And now we should start seeing them drop off. Yes, 2 are down, and that just leaves the third. Reasons I make sure I'm at 90 of my healing and, SP restorative items before going into a dungeon. Gnarly battle there. On to the next. And it's pain. We get 2 of our Holy Knight friends and a Darkstalker. Honestly, we kind of want to eliminate the Darkstalker first if we can. By literally whatever means necessary. Then we may have to rely on another trick for the Holy Knights. And you may be saying to yourself, why on earth am I focusing on the Darkstalker? And you may have guessed it right in that little clip there. When we are the target of the Darkstalker's spell, we're actually stuck. It's an animation lock. Something we use to our advantage in the field. The monsters also get that little tidbit, and you saw it there at its full effect. We couldn't get away from the Darkstalker's spell, and it actually forced us into 3 attacks. did get done there, and now we just gotta hope that Vax Tempest, our multi-target attack, is gonna do enough. You'll notice I'm almost playing this like a turn-based game. I'm letting them attack first, healing where I need, and then firing off my attack when I get that chance. Okay, we should be fine after one more round here. And that's 2 of them down. Whew. That sucked. Still very glad it was 2 and not 3. I can tell you right now, 3 of them will be a game over situation. Taking a look at that. Just want to see my shortcuts real quick. I have Data Drain and Night's Bane. Yeah. No actual Beast Bane here, so let me think things over here. Rather than Data Drain on R2 and Square, since that's just sort of placeholder, go ahead and switch to items. Let's use the levers, see if we can't just charm one of those if we run into 3. Pick up a Cygnus. Yeah, unfortunately our speed charm runs off on us before we can charge into battle there. Sure enough, there's 3. Okay. Got 1 charmed. That's nice. Two charmed. Well, that did not last long at all. Actually, just gonna go ahead and shoot. Yeah, with 3, the attacks just literally never end. Gonna try escaping here and try and spray Ocarina. And it didn't work because these things are too effing fast. Okay, second try works, and now we just have to survive through the animation. Which we do. Game of inches, folks. They stopped right there at the start of the hallway. Well, we knew that 5 levels above ours was going to be a struggle, and honestly, we got through 4 floors. Gonna have to call this an incomplete, but hey, we didn't die, we didn't level down. Much better than the first. Certainly not the best, but far from the worst. Now that I'm done doing really silly rhymes and stumbling over my attempts to make light of them, let's go ahead and sell our treasure here. Couple Slayers. Picked up that Chris armor. Don't have any more of the levers to sell. Wonder what happened to those exactly. But hopefully you did enjoy this run. As you can see, the old curative items took a hit there, as you'd expect in a run like that. But it was worth the attempt, and sometime soon here, I guess I'll have to hop on and do a run somewhere down the road just to get some money back. In the meantime, this has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, thanking you for watching, saying take care, and we'll see you around.